All right, maybe Dylan Welch knows who is right now the leader in the championship hunt. Dylan?
Well, I'll let you guys handle that, Rick. How about that? But what I do want to talk about, first of all, so we're standing here in Alex Bowman's garage, and obviously there was some fireworks last week after the race between he and Bubba Wallace. Alex was sitting on the ground trying to regain his composure after racing his way into the playoffs, and Bubba Wallace came up to him. Here's the incident from last week at the Roval. One of them, there were several between these guys, but eventually, after the race, Bubba came up and voiced his displeasure with Alex Bowman, splashed some water and some Gatorade in his face, which I'm sure we'll see here once these guys get done beating and banging on each other. I asked Alex, hey, have you guys talked? Have you and Bubba talked since this incident last week? He said, no, but I'm over it. I'm ready to go here at Dover, ready to focus forward. And here is that water splash as you see Alex trying to recover, and here comes Bubba coming up and voicing his displeasure. But they're over it. They're ready to go this weekend, ready to focus on Dover. It's a good track for Alex. He finished second here in May. And a little bit of cruel twist of irony, when we walked up to the garage here to get ready to film this, look what was laying on the ground right in front of Alex Bowman's garage. So whether that got placed there or not, I don't know, but it was laying here when we were standing in front of Bowman's garage ready to go this morning.
I saw Bubba set that there. What are you talking about?
Just stir it up, Rick. Just stir it up.
Well, and in this sport, you know, people have always looked at rivalries, and they said, oh, we like rivalries. We want rivalries. Well, this is a natural occurrence when you have people that are so passionate about what they're doing. They're out there on the racetrack. It was as hot as it's ever been in the history of Charlotte on that day, and tempers are going to flare. We have guys that, you know, they're going to voice their displeasure with each other, and it just happens. And a lot of people gave Bubba a lot of grief throughout the whole week as far as his actions. I thought it was interesting to hear Bowman and his response to that. You know, he's like, hey, I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
So listen, the question is, what does Bubba think?
Yeah.
Because Bubba's the guy that's not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, they both have to move on, and both of those guys made mistakes on Sunday. Obviously, Alex Bowman early in the race made that mistake and got into Bubba Wallace, and that made Bubba mad because it forced Bubba to make a stopping, you know, essentially a stop and go penalty.
Right.
And then, you know, I to be honest with you, I did not like Alex Bowman hooking Bubba Wallace in the right rear quarter panel and turning the driver's side into the wall. I think Alex Bowman needs to be, you know, he needs to understand that, I get it, man. If you want to spin somebody out because of something, spin them out, but you can't hook them.
Right.
Spin them out. And then Bubba, after the race, he walked up and needed to understand that, hey, man, maybe now's not the time. Maybe just back off. So a little bit of immaturity shown from both of these guys. But as you said it, they're both under a tremendous amount of pressure. Bubba Wallace has been public about it. He has said how much pressure it is and how difficult it's been to deal with that. Alex Bowman, we know that one of the sponsors has announced they're not coming back next year. He's trying to advance himself into the next round of playoffs, wrecked his primary car in practice. You know,
last
I mean,
second.
So much stuff
Right.
going on, right? And I think all of that pressure boiled over, and some poor decisions made by both of them. Hopefully, I don't like they haven't talked. Like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand how you don't just reach out to a guy, even if you disagree, right? And just have a conversation. Like, I just don't understand why you're coming to a racetrack and not have had a conversation.
The world has changed a little bit. Social media now has been the medium that most people like to vent with. They'll make quotes. They'll say things. We heard this on Track Sirius XM earlier. Again, this was Alex Bowman responding to it. He said he hasn't apologized, but I feel he kind of said what he had to say, got that out after the race. I don't think that was the end of the world. I don't really think he did anything wrong there. We all have emotions inside and outside of the race cars, and that stuff happens. So is it over? It doesn't sound like it is. Hearing this, when you say that guys should communicate, it's different. It's a different time. It used to be that you would go and talk to somebody. You'd either call them on the phone that after, you know, something happened on that week, or you'd go see them. Is that correct? And now it's changed to where most people will tweet something, or they'll say it on a radio interview, and then the other person will have to respond. So there's not that communication that goes back and forth as much anymore.
Well, that's no excuse, though.
Right. No,
It
you're
doesn't
right.
make it right. And hey, listen, they handle it the way they want to handle it. That's their business, not mine, but it doesn't seem productive.
Hey,
Hey Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.